Mr. Alexander, a.k.a. Frank D. Alexander, started substitute teaching at Hudson High School over a year ago. He has brought so much positivity and joy to not only the students at HHS, but the teachers as well. Today, we will not only talk about his accomplishments as a substitute teacher, but also his startup to his art business and how it relates to the benefits he brings to everybody in the Hudson community.
He is a very fun sub to have. Everybody loves him. He is a sub that I've had our teachers tell us, like, oh, we're going to have a sub tomorrow, or I'm not going to be here Wednesday and you're going to have a sub. And everybody's immediate reaction is, is he going to be there? Is MD Alexander going to be our sub? Because everybody loves him. He's so sweet.
So I know kids love when he's the sub because they know that he's going to want to chat and he's not going to be one of those subs that's like, sit down, be quiet, don't say anything. Like, you know, he's the opposite. He's like, what are you talking about? Like, I want to hear, I want to contribute and have a conversation. So he's just a really great guy.
Well, if I'm not substitute teaching at the high school or at McDowell or Eastwood or one of the other buildings and occupying that amount of time, if I've got an hour, whatever, I start to draw.
His art makes me feel happy just because I associate it with him. It is abstract and there's no like subjects in the art, so it's not with like people or animals or even like landscape or still art, still life or anything like that. But I'd say it just elicits joy just because you know who the artist is. And they're fun. The art pieces are really fun. Like I'm looking up at the two on my wall right now. They're just fun.
He has one or two pieces that have red in them. Most of his pieces are black and white. And then he has a few with yellow highlighter or red. And those are my favorite. I love the color. But he more likes the black and white. And I think those are still very stunning.
Yeah, if I know that I'll have some downtime when I'm subbing and they'll take a test or whatever, I'll bring in 3, 4, 5 pieces and just put them up on the board. And some students are going to say, what is that? Well, that's what I'm doing. What do you think of that? What would you call it if you were to title it? And I kind of just give them another shot at something or look at something that maybe changes their day. Or maybe they see it and say, hey, I saw something today I never saw it before.
I think he was subbing for a class where he had like a bunch of his artwork and he had the students like rate which ones they liked the most to the least. And so I saw him with this like portfolio of art and he was like saying how like these are the favorite ones, the least favorite ones. And I was like, oh, wow. And I remember like looking at the one he had, it was bright pink. And I said, oh, I love that one. And he's like, oh, you know, the kids ranked it really low. He's like, but if you love it, it's yours. And he just gave it to me. And I was like, really? I can have your art? And he said, yeah, absolutely. And he gave it to me without hesitation. And then I do have a couple more of his art pieces hanging on my wall in my classroom. And those are ones that he gave to other students. But then they never took them home. So I adopted the art and put it on my wall.
I participated 3 years in a row at the Hudson M Art Show in the summertime. This year it's July 28th on the green. I'm right by the clock tower. And the first year I sold, about 70 pieces.
I would love to buy from him. I'm planning hopefully to be able to buy one of his pieces that is, like I explained, in red.
End goal is to be able to support a guy by the name of Dan Flowers who runs the Akron-Canton Regional Food Bank. I met him a long time ago, and the stories he told me about kids that are not having enough food to eat really touched my heart. And so I said, Dan, if I sell my stuff at art shows and so on, I'd like to give you the proceeds of what I sell. And he said, boy, that would really help.
I love Mr. Alexander just like everybody else does. He is one of those really special people that just is present and genuine when you're talking to him. He's excited to see you. He's excited to hear what's up. He's excited to connect whatever you're talking about to something in his life.
But you know, I brought in a poster that I got from somebody that really touched me. Maya Angelou just passed away, I think about 6 months ago. And she said something that I think about a lot. She said, people will forget what you did. And people will forget what you said. Words kind of just float out in the air. But they'll never forget how you made them feel. So if a piece of artwork that I did makes somebody feel good or makes them think about things or brings imagination to their day, that's it to me. How did I make them feel? And that would be part of the end goal.